And welcome in. This is a public affairs program shedding the light on the interests, issues, and concerns of the greater Pittsburgh area. Good morning. My name is Jonny Hartwell. In guests, in studio, a couple of old friends. It's way too early to see your ugly faces. Joe Wodarek of the band 51 South and the Stickers. John Vento of the Needs Hotel Band. Really good to see you guys again. How are you?
Always a pleasure. Good, man. Good.
If you're in studio, that means the Yinzer Christmas show is just around the corner.
You better believe it. And Santa's got his naughty list, and I don't know about you this year. I'm a little worried.
I always barely make it. I think it's because it's our partnership that I talked to Joe and John, and then Santa's like, well, all right, I guess.
We vouch for you.
Yinzer Christmas. Tell us everything we need to know.
Absolutely. So Yinzer Christmas is the third annual, and it is a celebration of music of all your favorite Pittsburgh artists doing Christmas songs, and it's all to benefit Band Together Pittsburgh, which is an organization that enriches the lives of those on the autism spectrum through music. And John's going to tell us all about that today.
All right. Well, before we get to that, let's play some of your songs that we might hear at the Benedum Center coming up on December 9th. Here's Joe.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun's gonna be together.
They can't see you dance on radio,
but I'm
glad. But thank you for performing.
Hey.
It's really good they can't see him.
And here's John.
Merry Christmas, baby. You surely treat me nice. Yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. You surely treat me nice.
All right, so along with those songs, we're going to hear a lot of traditional Christmas songs, some songs that are kind of a newer version, but we're also going to hear some of the Band Together performances as well. So
yes.
So tell us about first of all, tell us how Yinzer Christmas and Band Together got together.
I call it friendship. I mean, when we originally, I brought the idea to John, and John, being part of Band Together, it was just a perfect fit, especially since the organization is about music. And I think that's really what made it come to light, huh, John?
Well, Joe and I became friends through another one of his projects, the great song for Tree of Life, which through a mutual friend of ours, I was invited to go to the studio and add my voice to the song, which was wonderful. And then he had, for years, I think you've talked about this Christmas thing for as long as I've known you. And he wouldn't let go of it, which I love it. I give him a lot of credit. So he had the vision and then brought that to Band Together Pittsburgh, which is an organization that creates music programs for people on the autism spectrum. And it was just a great natural fit for us to not only support the project with our team, but also to include some of our Band Together performers, which has been incredible.
All right, so tell us the history of Band Together.
Well, it all started many years ago. I'll give you the short version, but I had the Needs Hotel Band.
We got all day and
nothing to do. Okay.
You can do anything you want.
I guess
3 hours later.
It's hard to believe. I think, I got to find this exact date, but approximately 9 years ago, the Needs Hotel Band had a gig at Moondogs in Blawnox. And at the time, our drummer was Ron Beidel from Wild Cherry. And with Fred DeLue on keyboards, I had a great band, Tim Hadley on guitar. Prior to the gig, we had met 3 young autistic musicians. And they were really great. And they had the chops, and I came up with an idea and said, why don't we let these 3 guys sit in with us for a few tunes of Moondogs? And they did. So, 3 professional musicians sit down, 3 young teenagers come up, joined us for a few tunes. It was a great success. And at the end of the night, Moondog basically said to me after the gig, what was that all about? Who were those kids? And I said, well, here's the dirty little secret. All 3 of them are on the autism spectrum. And he said, well, my son James is on the spectrum. We need to include musicians like this more often. And that was really the birth. That night at Moondogs was the birth of Band Together. We had no clue where it was going to go. Like any Pittsburgher, we're street people.
And so where has it gone?
Wow.
Going back 9 years ago. So you've come quite a distance.
Yeah, it has gone to where we have regular open mic sessions, meaning the kids come and let me define a kid. If you're 50 or below, okay, I just chose a kid.
You could put that age a little higher for us included.
60 or below.
Because I don't think there's any, there's no adults in this room today.
Absolutely not.
Right. So, people on the autism spectrum, they come to open mic events on a regular basis, more than monthly here in Pittsburgh. We have drum circles. We have music therapy. We've trained people on the spectrum to be professional DJs, where they go do gigs and they get paid. It's just been growth. And then most recently, we're launching a chapter in Erie, PA.
That's amazing.
2 years ago, we launched a chapter in Columbus with the same program. As you guys know, I'm sure, a lot of folks on the spectrum, they're in their bedroom playing video games 24 hours a day. There are no social connections. So that's what we're most proud of, is that Band Together has opened the door for people on the spectrum to feel comfortable and get together and connect, and especially their parents and caregivers.
Right, yeah.
That is just as powerful.
Because they're so proud of their kids when they perform.
Yeah.
Because when, we've done the Yinzer Christmas, and they're backstage, and they're more excited than the performers.
Absolutely.
It's so great to see.
Yeah, and you guys have been supportive. And, for Joe to bring this to us, his vision, and this year, we even have a few more surprises, including more of our kids.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because it's a celebration of not their disability, it's their abilities.
Exactly.
All right. So now,
one thing I do want to say, though, John, you give the definition in what you see and what your vision was, because you were in it. Someone who's just come into it and learning about it continuously, to see them in the recording process was an absolute mind-blowing experience for me, something I will never ever forget, to watch them get up to a microphone and just, you said it best, show their abilities. It was eye-opening. There were tears, there was joy. It was just, it's more than I can ever talk about. I mean, everyone should experience this to see how special it truly is.
All right, so we're talking to John Vento and Joe Wodarek about the Yinzer Christmas, the celebration coming up on December 9th.
Correct.
Tickets available at yinzerchristmas.com or trustarts.org. And so, not in addition to Band Together, you have every well-known Yinzer you can imagine on stage. So can you name some of them?
I will do my best to try to remember them all, and I apologize.
Enjoy fall at BetMGM Casino. Check out the colors of the season with over 500 dazzling slots and table games. Play fan favorites like Buffalo, Cleopatra, and Premium Blackjack Pro. Then check out exclusive football-themed games. Speaking of the gridiron, get it on pro football action this fall at BetMGM Sportsbook. Born in Vegas, BetMGM will make you feel welcome for every down of the season. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys in advance for anyone's name I forget, because every time someone asks me, I end up forgetting. Johnny at this moment is trying to turn a screen to me, but
No, I'm going to have you do it. I was going to do it.
all right, I'm going to do my best. Here we go. Oh, look at this. We got we have Scott Blasey of the Clarks, Gene the Werewolf, John Bellin, Clinton Clegg, Bill Deasy, Joey Gershecki, David Granati, Stevie Wellens, Pete Hewlett, Jeff Jimerson, Pure Gold, Totally 80s, Abby Abadanza, Bailey Taylor, also Dan Taylor, the B. Taylor family, myself, my son Joey Wodarek Jr., who I'm a little biased to. I think he's fantastic.
He is fantastic.
Is your daughter going to participate this year?
You know what? She has finals that week, and she does sing like a bird, but I don't think she's going to be able to do it. Yeah, Dad's a little heartbroken. But
she's great, too.
Yeah, and the list just keeps on growing and going on and on. If you are a Yinzer, if you're from Pittsburgh, whether you are 10 years old or 80 years old, you're going to find something in there that you're going to absolutely love, and it's all about the season. It makes it really special.
3 years ago, Joe was able to get all those individuals that he just talked about in studio, and you recorded close to, 25 songs in like 2 weeks?
Yes, with a fantastic house band who I didn't mention. The house band, and they'll be on stage that night, is Jamie Peck, Ricky Witkowski, Herb Schweitzer, the Soulville Horns, Dave Marion, Rob James from the Clarks. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of just what a fantastic group that we have. It's such a community of Yinzers. You should hear us all say the words like Dan, and I mean it's a hilarious conversation to record.
Now you should do something behind the scenes, because a lot of these bands and individuals are friends, but they don't get to see each other because they're usually performing a lot of times.
Right.
So when they're backstage, it's just like an old reunion. They come, you see hugs and they're
That's a good idea.
And
Yeah.
you really should, because they're backstage and none of them are behaving at all, and it's great to see. It's really
exactly.
fun.
And what's my favorite thing is that wall just drops for everyone, and you're right. They're like a bunch of little kids at Christmas. The excitement level's way up, and everyone's joking around and poking fun, and it's just a great atmosphere, and it really shows on the stage.
All right, so 3 years ago, like I just mentioned, you got all these Yinzers to record. Tell us what that was like. I mean, because you recorded 25 songs in just like 14 days.
Yeah.
So did you get any sleep during that process?
No, I didn't. Is that old saying, be careful what you wish for, but I'm really glad I did wish for it. But what we did is we did 2 sessions a day. Every day, the house band would come in, we'd go through it, the singer would show up, he'd cut his vocal or she'd cut her vocal, and then we'd move on to the next one. And we had such a great group of people that were involved in it. As soon as we would get done, we had a production team. Jamie Peck, who's our musical director, would do some mixing. Mike Offko, who's a dear friend of mine and a great musician, he was the engineer on it, and we just kept on moving. At the end of it, we all looked at each other and said, what the heck did we just do? And it was great. I mean, 25 songs in 2 weeks, and if you listen to the caliber of the recordings, it's fantastic, and I think everyone has a lot to be proud of that worked on that project.
Now, musician and reliability aren't two terms that usually go together. What was it like herding those kind of cats to have them come in on time?
You know what? We didn't have one issue.
These guys are pros.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the difference between the names we're talking about.
Yeah.
Really?
There was not one issue in time. Everyone was on time, prepared, ready to go. I mean, we were cutting vocals, and if you've seen movies or TV and you see people cutting vocals, and you're like, okay, start over. These guys were so prepared. It was 1-2 takes. We were done. Wow. I mean, everyone was just. I was so grateful to the professionalism that came there, the preparation, and it was fantastic.
And the fruits of your labor can be heard at yinzerchristmas.com.
Absolutely.
So you can listen.
And wherever music streams.
Yeah, and we should probably get that Spotify link up. But we came up with a campaign that if folks donate to Band Together Pittsburgh, they receive all the MP3s of the album, because unlike typical music, most of us like to keep our Christmas songs, segmented in a special place, because we only, play it once a year for the season. So if you go to yinzerchristmas.com, you can also choose to download the MP3s if you'd like.
So some of the names included are Gene the Werewolf, Clinton Clegg, Scott Blasey, but also your Band Together. Groups also performed as well, and we should play some of this stuff.
Fantastic.
Let's start with Patrick and
Joe.
All right, let's give this a listen.
This Christmas won't be wrapped under a tree. I want something that lasts forever. So kiss me on this cold December night.
All right, so Patrick and Joe, when they perform, they blow it out. Every time they perform, it's actually better than the recording. It's just so good live.
It's not just the performance of the music. How about the courage? It's a little intimidating for all of us. I won't say my age, but you stand on that stage at the Benedum in front of 2,000 people. There aren't many of us that have had that experience. There's a small handful in our group that have had that. Our kids from Band Together certainly have never had that experience, and they just go up there, man, like they own the stage.
Cello?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel.
Just a newer version of the Grinch.
Oh yeah.
He brought the house down.
The Spectrum Band.
Get around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop.
The Spectrum Band, and that's the lead singer. What is
Angelina.
her? Angelina. She's a pistol.
That's an understatement.
Oh, she's a pistol.
Funny as heck, too, man.
Oh, and she gives me a hard time every time I see her. I mean, she brings it.
Oh, yeah.
She is amazing.
You know, she sings with Kenny Blake on Wednesday nights.
Does she?
At Kenny's jam session.
No way.
Oh, she puts herself
Legendary
out there.
Kenny
She
Blake.
goes everywhere.
He's such a sweetheart, too.
Oh,
he's an amazing.
He's
yeah.
a beautiful human.
Angelina? She's a pistol. And then there's, let's do...
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ the Savior was born on Christmas Day.
All right, so when you asked some of these... we use the term.
Enjoy fall at BetMGM Casino. Check out the colors of the season with over 500 dazzling slots and table games. Play fan favorites like Buffalo, Cleopatra, and Premium Blackjack Pro. Then check out exclusive football-themed games. Speaking of the gridiron, get it on pro football action this fall at BetMGM Sportsbook. Born in Vegas, BetMGM will make you feel welcome for every down of the season. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kids, colloquially, what was their response of, hey, we're going to record you and put it on an album, and then we're going to have a whole show and raise money for our organization? What was their response?
Well, first off, obviously, we selected our more experienced performers, and they are a small percentage of Band Together, and that's one of the things I try to communicate. You have that small group that is the skilled in music and has experience and so on. The vast majority come to our events and have fun and camaraderie and so on. But the reaction, to answer your question, the reaction from our guys when we brought it up was like, where do we start? Where do we go? Yeah. And just like Joe said, they had to go down to Steubenville, or Weirton, right? Steubenville, where the studio was, and had to go and record under the direction of Joe, who was the producer, Mike Ofka, Jamie Peck, and they were ready to go. They went down and did it.
And I remember Mike called me the night before Joe and Patrick came because I was here, and he's like, well, they're going to get here before. I don't know what to expect. I don't want. And then my phone rings as I'm in the car heading that way. He says, hey, this is amazing. I don't need you unless you want to come.
All right, so let's open it up to a broader audience. Yeah. So these are more experienced performers.
I say more experienced.
So
I don't say more
let's say somebody who's listening who maybe want to be introduced and want to participate in bands together. And you take all levels of.
Oh my God, yes. Oh dear, we take everybody. BandTogetherPGH.org. There's a list of events. Just come. It's that simple. And on the website is my phone number. Some families like to call and talk about it first. We have folks that come that don't perform at all. They don't go on the stage to sing karaoke or bang on the drums or open mic. They just come and hang out. And again, it's more of a social atmosphere than necessarily, some great musical performance.
All right.
Yeah.
So how often do you meet?
Well, every month, the second Sunday of every month, we have an open mic at our clubhouse, which is in the back of Moondogs and Blawnox. And then we have in-between events. We've been at the Lindsay Theater in Sewickley. We're going to be at Robert Morris. We're in Murraysville at the community center out there. We've been all over. So go to the website, bandtogetherpgh.org, and you'll see a bunch of stuff. And it's all free, by the way.
Okay. And you get a lot of support from the community, like Joe. And so do you have any other support systems? Like, who are some of your big supporters?
Well, we're grassroots. I mean, I have to mention...
Moondogs, of course.
Moondogs is a big supporter, and we have we get a lot of grassroots support, small donations from family and so on. We're completely volunteer, by the way. So, when you look at a charity organization and they rate the administrative cost versus the programming, we're 100% programming, 100%. We actually, in some cases, will purchase instruments and lessons for families that maybe don't have the resources and their son or daughter wants to get into music. Right now, we have 8 students that we support in that regard.
Who teaches?
The music teachers that are not only have all the clearances Act 33, Act 34, but they also specialize in working with people on the spectrum. So, I mean, we have a whole group of different teachers that our kids work with.
How about you? Do you ever teach any kind of?
I struggle with my own abilities.
You mean
Johnny
you don't teach
Hartwell.
dancing?
I don't teach. My bad knee has affected my dancing.
Have you seen his dance
And
moves?
he has seen them, yeah. He knows.
Yeah.
But there is no hope for my singing.
Michael Jackson, who?
I saw you dancing earlier. You have no room to
You should
talk.
not talk.
Do not talk, Joe. You are cut off. I'm cutting your mic off.
I use my hands to dance. Jazz hands.
No, that's funny. But we're blessed with some great teachers. And it's just been we do need to grow, and hopefully someday we'll have a staff and all that stuff, but we're not there yet.
Okay. Well, you've already expanded, like to Erie and into
Columbus.
Ohio and things like that. That's a
With families, with grassroots. Again, we have the model. It all starts with families and caregivers because they have the passion. Like the woman in Erie that's leading the charge for us, Stephanie Hall, she is a professional that has a job that's literally 7 days a week. But if she was here right now, she would say, I'm doing Band Together for my son and his friends. And that's the foundation of the whole thing.
All right. So where would you like to see, how would you like to see Band Together grow in 2025?
Well, obviously the more events that we can have, we're able to touch more lives. That would be step one in that regard. And also with Joe bringing the Pittsburgh music community to us, I think it's opened a lot of eyes with our peers, or more your peers, because you probably know them better than I do. I remember when Moon and I came down to the studio and you called that meeting, Joe called us in and said, we need to tell everybody why we're here. And that was pretty amazing.
It was eye-opening.
Bill Deasy was there, and Ricky, and there were a lot of others, and they're like, whoa, we had no idea the impact this is making. Mm-hmm. So more integration, get the message out, get more people involved, and get more families involved.
All right, so this is the third year for the Yinzer Christmas, and after the first year, I'm like, well, none of these people are coming back next year, and they all came back.
Absolutely.
How about this year? Is it the same group of Yinzers? That are
Same
coming?
group of Yinzers. We added a few. We've had we did a couple shifts, but for the most part, the same group that you guys have been seeing. New additions.
All right. First of all, the Yinzer Christmas. It started out in the
Carnegie Homestead.
Then last year moved to the Benedum. It's at the Benedum again, which is a larger venue. Right. December 9th, which is a Monday night. Mm-hmm. No Steeler game on Monday night.
We made sure of that.
Good. Tickets available at yinzerchristmas.com or at the Benedum website is trustarts.org. Joe Krashecki is always the one that ends the night with his big, huge rendition of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Yep. Clinton Clegg and Scott Blasey of the Clarks. But you said a couple of surprises. Can you fill us in on some of those?
On some of them, I'm waiting for
Come on, Joe.
confirmation.
Come on, Joe.
But there is going to be, Pure Gold's an addition this year,
To the list.
which is nice.
The choir, we can announce that.
Yeah, we're going to have.
Whoa. What choir? From what choir?
So usually there's a number that me, Pete Hewlett, and Jeff Jimerson will do together, and we have a choir that we incorporate in it. Well, this year we're going to add to that choir.
And what is that song? That
Silent Night.
What a song that is.
Let's play a little.
And wait for Christmas Day. They read the Bible.
Is this the one?
That's
They
it.
knew the story. The birth of Jesus.
And what I love about this song, it's a song that I wrote with a guy named Jay McKnight, who's a dear friend of mine, fantastic musician. And I never thought what I'd do with it until this album happened. And I was like, there's Pete Hewlett, one of my idols of Pittsburgh, and Jeff Jimerson. And I'm like, hey guys, you want to do this song together? So it was great to see it come to life, but we're going to utilize that song to also give more people from Band Together Pittsburgh the opportunity to participate as part of our choir. So
nice.
We're really excited about that, and I think it'll be a great movement for everyone there. So.
All right.
I want to say something about that song. I don't understand why it's not a huge Christmas hit nationally.
Quit buttering me up.
No, I'm not.
It is a great song.
It is the first time I heard it, which was prior to Yinzer, and Joe sang it at one of our Christmas shows at the Oaks. I'm like, where did this come from? I mean, it's an incredible song. It's such a beautiful rendition. It needs to be a smash hit. You guys need to make that happen.
Well, Joe is very talented.
Yes, he is.
Don't tell him that.
No, he already
And there
knows.
goes
This is
my
just
head.
a secret
He already
between
knows
you
it.
and me.
His ball cap's
Oh,
struggling. Fitting properly. Very tight.
All right, so 3 years ago, you got all these Yinzers to record 25 different songs. We got a charity, behind it. You were able to get a venue, and you get the community to support it. Is there any plans of maybe recording another album? Is that going to happen in the future?
Absolutely. It's already, the discussion's already in the works.
Are you going to give yourself a little bit more time than 2 weeks to record
I think so. You know what, though?
No.
We worked so good under pressure. It was just a great move.
Joe, you do it in 1 week this time. 1 week, and I went 30 songs.
Oh, I think I could do it.
So
Yeah, we absolutely want to shake things up, include more Yinzers, different Yinzers.
Yeah.
And
there's so many Yinzers that come to me, that didn't have the opportunity
That wanna
to
be part of
participate,
it, yeah.
that want to be part of it. Yeah. And I tell them, call Joe Wodarek.
That's what I do too. I hardly know the guy. Call that jerk. I wanted you on the list. He said no.
You know what? I'm bad cop on this whole thing. Why did I see my name in the bathroom for Yinzer Christmas called Joe Wodarek?
I love it.
There's nobody I love making fun of than Joe. Smiling Joe.
Oh,
all right.
great.
So, what are the plans? What's in the future? What's the reaction of some of these people that these luminaries, these Yinzer luminaries? What was their response? Like, yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, I've had the discussion with, especially the first part, of course, is getting the Yinzer band together, and they're all on board. And then it's going to be, you'll hear some repeat performers, some new performers. It's going to be really great. My thought originally is, yes, it's the third year. To us, it feels a little maybe starting to get stale.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have never heard it before.
Right.
So there's that fine line of when do you do the next one? But I think we're to that point, and probably after this year, we'll be looking at creating a new one. Yeah.
If you look at the model that the great B.E. Taylor presented to all of us with his incredible Christmas albums and his shows, you look at what Bill did or what B.E. did of when he released new Christmas albums and so on. And it was in that 4-year mark, right, in that neighborhood of creating some new music. And we do want to include a different group of performers.
And B.E.'s family is involved in this.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and
so
listen,
wonderful.
we're not trying to compete with what B.E. did. What he did was amazing and special. What we're doing is more community oriented for Pittsburgh and just highlighting all the talents of all the different Yinzers out there.
All right, we only have about 3 minutes left, so let's talk about Yinzer Christmas. Tell us everything we need to know about the show.
Come early. There'll be entertainment in the lobby. There'll be things for you to do and see, and then make your way in. There's some great videos that happen up on the screen, and then when the show starts, you better be ready to sing, dance, and have your Christmas spirit. And if you don't, we're going to find you and we're going to make you dance.
There's some Christmas classics, and there's a few newer versions of songs that you may or may not know. You got your song that John loves and thinks should be a hit nationally, and you got it's a variety, and then you have a band together showing what they're capable of doing as well.
And an original Christmas song from Justin Capozzoli, one of our band together guys. It's a great tune. Norm Nardini's an original song.
Pure Gold is an original song.
Yeah, Monday, December 9th, Benedum Center. It's going to sell out.
Now, these tickets benefit Band Together, so we only have about a minute left, so tell us everything we need to know about Band Together.
Band Together creates music programs for folks on the autism spectrum, and every penny that we receive is dedicated toward our programming. And that could be buying instruments for folks on the spectrum and lessons. That could be training DJs on the spectrum. They get paid. Live sound engineers, equipment, and all of our programs are free. So we buy food and drink and all that stuff.
And how often do you meet?
We meet minimum once a month.
And if
That's a minimum.
And if somebody wants to check out the organization,
go to bandtogetherpgh.org and just come. Also, my phone number, John Vento, is on there, and I do get a lot of phone calls where people have questions, and we want to know more about this. Just call me.
It's usually Joe, just prank phone calling.
Exactly. Yeah. You have Prince Albert in a can.
Guys, always a pleasure.
Johnny, you're the best.
All
We
right.
appreciate
We'll
you.
see you on December 9th at the Benedum. Get your tickets at yinzerchristmas.com. Make sure you check out all the Christmas songs there that you're going to see hear on the at the Benedum stage. And, of course, you want to get tickets, go to trustarts.org. John and Joe, always a pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
God
Can't
bless.
wait.
All right, if you have any comments, concerns, or an idea for a future program, as always, you can email us from this radio station's website. I'm Jonny Hartwell. Thank you so much for listening.